So Katie, you mentioned that it's great working with friends and you have the familiarity and so forth. I think that goes a long way in business when you can work with people that you just like to work with,
Absolutely.
right? Because we've all worked with people that we may not necessarily get along with, but as part of the transaction, when we get through it, and then maybe we don't have any conversations with them again. But so tell me how the VSV team came to be.
Katie and I and Maria have known each other for 6 years, and Katie and I, we've all been in the hospitality industry, and Katie was talking to us that she was going to be getting into real estate, and we had referred her to one of our friends who had a brokerage at the time, and that was almost 2 years ago. And then during COVID, unfortunately, we were put out of business temporarily with our beverage catering company, so I ended up getting my real estate license and knew I just had to join a team with Katie. So we actually met Scott Schutz at one of your networking events, one of the first ones that I attended, and after a short interview with him, we knew that was the absolute perfect place for us.
It's fantastic to be able to work with friends, you know, because life is always a party with us. And
Yes, definitely.
We have a great time, even though we're working, but we always have a great time together.
Yeah, absolutely. So how did you end up in Florida? You said you met Katie 6 years ago when you moved here. Where'd you move from?
Actually, my wife and I moved here from Washington, D.C., the Northern Virginia area. I actually came here almost 8 years ago, no, almost 9 years ago now. A friend of mine had moved here, and he told me he was moving to Viera, Florida. So since Viera is our last name, I thought that was amazing. And then he said that's where the National Spring Training was. So after about a few months, we came, we visited, and we absolutely fell in love with Viera. And we knew this is where we wanted to move. So we ended up selling our place in the D.C. area, and we moved here in 2000.
We moved here in 2014.
So Katie, you mentioned that it's great working with friends and you have the familiarity and so forth. I think that goes a long way in business when you can work with people that you just like to work with,
Absolutely.
right? Because we've all worked with people that we may not necessarily get along with, but as part of the transaction, when we get through it, and then maybe we don't have any conversations with them again. But it seems like when you do work with people that you love to work with, that you're not even working at all, right?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's just a fun day at work, and we come home, and it kind of just leads into your own life because you, like you said, you don't feel like you're at work.
Yeah.
You've been working with friends the whole day.
Exactly. So we've known each other for a long time.
Yes,
were
we
just
have.
discussing over 20 years.
Yes.
So you've seen the amount of growth that Brevard County has had. When we were younger, Viera wasn't Viera.
It was not.
So-
it was the cow pasture
That's
out
right.
there. Yes.
That's right. So we've seen a tremendous amount of growth, and that's exciting to see. And as you mentioned, the short time that you've been here, even just your little part of Viera has grown out so much.
Yeah.
Different roads intersecting, all that stuff. So what would you say to buyers that are looking to relocate here, since you were one of those people recently? What would you say is probably the number one thing that drew you here other than real estate?
The biggest thing for us was everyone has the must-haves, right, in their homes. When we decided to move to Florida, our must-haves is we wanted to have a pool, our own pool in our own yard. We loved the one-level homes, right, that have no walls, and it's, you know, you kind of can walk in from the front door, you can see the back of your lanai. But the biggest thing for us, I would tell you, was the family.
Yeah, I was going to say family for sure.
Yeah.
The family feel and community, it's like you're just meeting your neighbor that very same day, and it's just like, come over, let's get together, you know. And I love that. It's constant. It's constant. I see it all the time, and we're constantly meeting up with friends, and it's just such a nice, warm feeling. They treat our daughter like their own, and I just love that because you don't get that everywhere.
Sure.
And I'll tell you, a lot of people that I have met in Florida, they've coming from different places or not natives. Like Katie's a rarity to me because
Right.
everyone I meet is usually, I'm from Pennsylvania, I'm from California, I'm everywhere but Florida.
Right.
So it's really nice. Everyone's migrating here, and there are no regrets. I love that. No one's always like, oh, I can't believe I moved. No, it's just been amazing. A great experience for our family.
One of my favorite stories is when you guys talk about Victoria. The first time she came into a Publix and how
Yes.
nice everybody was, and she just...
We were in shock how much people were speaking to us. You know, just so friendly and
Sure.
just sometimes you're like, wow, it's over the top, but I loved it.
We love DC. We love where we're from.
Absolutely.
But it's true. The community life wasn't the same.
Sure.
And we're talking about direct community. Obviously, we have great friends, and you go out. But as far as literally walking out the door,
Yeah.
but the main thing, like we talked about, the biggest thing for us when we formed this team is we wanted to ensure that we were working and supporting local. That's extremely
Yes.
important to us. But when you work with the VSV team, not only are you working with local, but we do all the legwork we work with the best people in the industry, and that's what we take pride in. And we pride in a seamless experience from the moment you meet with Maria. She's our customer service specialist. We interview our customers usually at one of our homes. We introduce them to our family. The first thing we do is we take them from a golf cart ride, tour of Viera, first and foremost, and then we talk to them about exactly what their needs or their goals are. And as you know, the number one person we end up calling right after is you. We have to contact you because you are definitely one of the best in the business. But the number one thing is the client really needs to know and be extremely informed on where they qualify. A lot of people have a misrepresentation of what they can qualify, and they're doing themselves an injustice in today's market.
Sure.
The biggest thing, as you know, is right now it's a seller's market. It's extremely unfortunate for buyers. We have several buyers that we have shown 50 homes to, have put in multiple offers that have been, not accepted due to cash buyers coming in, investors that are flooding the market right now. So the number one thing you need to be financially secure with how it is that you're going. You need to have an actual authorization letter, obviously, hopefully from the Jomaa team, and you make that easy on them. You contact them in the beginning. You give them all information, and we pride ourselves. We always say we are always a phone call away.
I know from speaking with some of the buyers and sellers that you've represented that the approach that you take is refreshing to them. What are some of the things that you do when you're looking to attract buyers or sellers that you think somebody would definitely attract to?
We've been fortunate that most of our buyers have come to the table, have been friends, have been through connections that we have gone through. As we mentioned earlier, the networking aspect and really working within our local community, I think, has been our largest asset. We've basically been attending networking events. We actually started our own networking event, which is the last Thursday of every month, and it's called Cocktails and Connections. And we just find that when we go to these events where there's a lot of people at, that we find we have the best times and the best opportunities with people. I think our main approach is we show people that we care, that we're part of the community, and we're always available. And we've been fortunate that many of the people we have come have actually been referred, or they've been friends of Katie's.
Which to me is the greatest compliment that you can definitely get. I love the sphere that we've created. I'm a big believer in those are the people that you entrust, and those are the people that you give your time to. And we feel as the VSV team that if you spend that time, that quality with that buyer or that seller, the referrals are just gonna keep coming.
Sure, exactly. You treat people the right way, the way that they enjoy being treated, and they can't stop talking about the great experience that they've had with everybody else.
Exactly.
And it's also what you're willing to do. I mean, I would just like to bring up one situation. Katie, for also a friend that you guys know, had a house in Palm Bay, and the house was a very nice house, but when you came into the house, it was multiple colors. And Katie and I talked about what the seller was willing to do, which we understood. He had already made some significant investments into the property, but all of a sudden I hear from Katie, and she says she's on the way to the house. And I said, well, it's not on my calendar. Where are you going to the house? She goes, well, I'm going to go paint the main rooms in the house. I go, you are absolutely not going to go paint this house. She goes, yes, I am. She had purchased the brushes, the paint. She went there. Next thing I know, she sent us the before and after. And the client wasn't even aware at the time of what she was doing. So it's just like in everything in business, it's all about the little details. It's what you're willing to do.
So Maria, Katie, and Marcos, thanks so much for taking time out of your day to come out and meet with me and tell me so much more about the amazing team that you've started, the VSV team at Hoven Real Estate. It's a pleasure to work with people like you, and I look forward to our next opportunity to work together.
Absolutely.
Nate, we really appreciate the opportunity, and we're thankful for the friendship and the business partnership. We've actually like to present you with our first Team VSV Cup with at Hoven Real Estate. You helped us at our very first Cocktails and Connections event, and we want you to be the first to get one of our cups.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. I have a gift for you as well.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Yes.
We like gifts.
So I would like to give you a Mortgage by Nate shirt.
All right.
www.mortgagebynate for all of your mortgage needs.
Hey, we wouldn't go to anybody else, Nate. You're the best in the business.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.